Alright, I'm going to do a tarot / astrological analysis reading for the sign of Aries for the Leo New Moon here on August 16th, 2023. It's a general reading analysis. So if it resonates, that's cool. If it doesn't, well, maybe you'll learn something in the process. Alright, so I'm just shuffling here. Now I have Aries South Node, Mars, Venus conjunction, Grand Fire Trine. I got all sorts of fire in my chart. I'm a Taurus Sun, Scorpio Ascendant. So I like the Aries energy. My brother's in Aries. A lot of Aries connections. It's just part of who I am, I guess. Alright, so I'm feeling the cards are getting a little clumsy. The world can do that to us. Alright, so I'm going to do a 9-card spread. It's non-denominational. These are the Liz Greene Mythic Tarot cards, the original deck. And I'm going to pull the bottom card and possibly a few other cards as clarifiers if I feel the need. So let us begin. Queen of Cups. She looks pretty content there. It's a nice energy. We'll break them down as I go. Knight of Pentacles. Oh. Curious. Something might be coming in, huh? Or maybe you're working on something. Hanged Man. Seeing the world a new way, feeling stuck. Maybe you're in a process. Maybe you're doing it to yourself. It's a Promethean time to be alive. 7 of Pentacles. That's my card. Or it used to be anyway. We're always progressing. Working on something. Maybe an offer's coming in for real. Or maybe it's you that you're offering something to yourself. 9 of Swords. The noise of the past, the noise of the others. Things which bind us in the mind. 3 of Cups. Maybe there's some offers here. Maybe it's party time central. Maybe you're missing what's right next to you. Pulled in by the outside world and the balance within you is being taken through the emotional expressions of life. Ooh, another Queen. Queen of Pentacles. Looks like she's about to shoot that pentacle in for a basket. She's saying, you want the grapes, you want the pentacle? 2 of Wands. Do you hold those wands? Are you going to give one to someone? What are you waiting on? Is that Chiron I see? The wound within? Chiron is in Aries right now. And the world. This is the apocalypse. Every end a new beginning. Bringing heaven to earth or earth to heaven. Alright, and what do we got at the bottom? Ooh, that's awesome. The Magician. So you got all the tools right there in front of you. You got your Jupiter fingers pointing, one up, one down. Maybe you are bringing heaven to earth, or bringing earth to heaven. And what we got in the middle is your Seven of Wands. So expressions of conflict. Maybe a place to put some of your attention to form. Old habits, ways of relating. So let's break into this reading. The Queen of Cups to the Knight of Pentacles. To the Hanged Man. So, when we're young, we cultivate a sense of an imagination. We're very rich with our emotional language when we're very young. And as time goes on, we get that snuffed out of us. We get it packed in with the dirt of life, with the experiences we go through. The purity of it is safeguarded deep within us. And we carry it with us. It is the cultivation of our life. Maybe you've been carrying the cultivation of your life for a long time. Maybe you've recognized it as other people bringing you opportunity, bringing you promise, bringing you expectation, bringing you foundations. Maybe people saw you as that. Maybe they saw your opportunity. Maybe they saw what you could provide. In this process, you've been able to see where you've been hung up on perspectives external, so that you could try and create foundation to get a higher vantage point, so you could see the potential not only within yourself but in this world. This is card represents Pisces astrologically, but feels very Promethean to me with the hawk there. So what are you seeing now differently through the cultivation of your own value? We got Venus retrograde in Leo. What have you been cultivating? What have you been working on, even though you weren't aware of it? See, in this depiction right here, right now, the woman with the cow. This is a Taurian card, Saturnian Deacon, 2757, Taurus, Sun. So he's got 6 pentacles on the pillar, and there's another pentacle being offered him, and he's thinking about it. To me, this card kind of represents the feminine within us, the masculine and the feminine aspects of each of us. Do you trust your own intuition? Do you trust the value of yourself? The value that other people have tried to reshape? Can you put that on the pillar? Can you put that up and work towards the 8 of Pentacles? A lot of times these kind of things, they keep us in our mind, they keep us up late at night, they keep us focused on external gratification for all the tension we find within ourselves. Sometimes it's in the words of another, the actions of another, the games of others. Sometimes it's in the world, the news, the propaganda, the consensus reality narrations. Sometimes it's what people have told us we were. Even though we knew it wasn't true, we had no evidence to refute it, or no way to express the authenticity of who and what we were without conflict, without cutting away other people's illusions of us. Three of Cups here. Maybe there are many offerings to you on the emotional front, but none of them actually were felt within yourself. Maybe the cups were empty, even though there was an ocean of emotion beneath the surface. Maybe there was something hidden in the emotions, something poisonous, something that needed to be poured out in order for it to be taken in. You can see the moonlight on the water here. Aquarius is the water bearer. We've got the angel here to your right, the masculine side, the arrows, Sagittarius. Here we've got the three maidens in the water, this Neptunian expression down here. Maybe there were many placations for real emotional value that we had to put aside so that we could stand strong and firm in our own convictions. There's a time and place. All cultivation leads to something. And in this case, it's this Queen of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy. The fertility of your own creativity. You know, Aries is a highly creative expression of life. Once you stand strong in your own convictions and you're able to lead yourself forward without the worry of the others, you can really tap into your creative potential. You can really be a fertile being for others to benefit from. And I feel this is part of coming to grips with the feminine within us, all of us. It's okay to be able to nourish yourself, nurture yourself as an extension of the world. Coming out of the dark cave, you know. A lot of times when you're walking with that torch in the cave, other people, they want to feel your fire, they want to feel the flame, they remember what it was like when they had one, they lost it somehow, and they want to feel yours, and in that process they try and put it out because they're too clumsy, they don't remember what it's like to try and safeguard their own fires. So here you've accumulated so much, you've got an extra one, and you're waiting for the right opportunity, and I feel it's part of the process of Chiron, healing the wounded mind you see is in the cave back there. And you're like, are you going to come out or what? You know, you've got this extra fire here, why don't we unite and become something powerful in this world, a healing force for ourselves, and by extension, an expression for others to see, to feel. And that is the ending and the beginning of old ways, the passion in the mind, the emotions, and the form with which we put it to expression in this world. Endings, beginnings, you know, the world card, they say it's the ending. The Fool falls through there, steps out into this expression of life. So this is Alpha Omega right here. Okay, so Scorpio's transformation for Aries, so it's the death and rebirth of the self. Through cultivating the spirit, the snake represents the spirit. When they say they drove the snakes out of Ireland, or they drive the snake out of someone, they say the snake's evil, it's wicked, it's essentially its spirit. When you're standing in the power of your spirit, no one can pull one over on you. And through that realization, you tap into all of creation and you embody the magician now. Gemini, Aries energy. It's a natural expression. You know. Gemini is the thought expression. Aries is the natural. in the conflict we have with the Seven of Wands, I feel that is just process, the realization and the coming to terms with what it was to get you to where you're at now. Of course, the world does reflect our inward processes. Sometimes when we're going through things internally, it's because we're in relation to the world. By extension, we hold that energy and we create these loops, these circuits. But if you're working towards something, maybe you've achieved something and you're holding on to it. Maybe you've achieved something within yourself and you're holding on to it. I see emotional contentment through the process. It's not easy. But if anyone can do it, it's Aries, you know. All right, so let me get to the chart here. So I've got a chart pulled up. This is Western Tropical Astrology. I personally am a porphyry man with the house system. If I'm analyzing an individual's chart, I'll use porphyry house. But since this is a general reading and a general analysis, I decided whole signs, just easier for people to read, to see. So I'm going to break down the new moon in Leo here. Now, initially what you see with Mars being the ascendant, you know, I'm breaking it down that way. You've got Mars in your 6th house. Mars likes to be there. That's the house of routine, the house of service, and the service to self and others. You know, you can't be of service to anyone if you can't be of service to yourself. We learn that in life. And Mars has this balsamic phase conjunction with a Pallas and Athena-infused Mercury in the sign ruled by Mercury. This is the most magical expression for Mercury to be in dynamic life, because it brings the metaphysic down to the mundane. We will get to this in a moment. Let's talk about the spirit of all this Virgo energy, which is happening right here in Leo. Leo's 12th house to Virgo. Leo is your natural 5th house, house of self-expression, the house of creativity, the house of love, romance, children. It's where we anchor ourselves when we put ourselves into this world, when we put our vision to work, an expression for the unity for the others. So just imagine the moon is conjunct the sun. I had to do it this way, the whole sign houses. So the moon and the sun meet at 23 degrees Leo. At that time, black moon Lilith is at 24 degrees and Venus is retrograde at 18. So that's a stellium. Now we've got Venus retrograde. She just went through the Cazimi with the purification of fire and self-expression in Leo. She met with the sun conjunct today, which is the 13th of August. And she was stripped of all that was not pure within her own expression. All the beliefs, all the value that had been programmed into her, baked into her through her experiences and circumstances is now being burnt up so that she can shake it off. Venus will be retrograde for another week or two. She will station direct at 12 degrees Leo, which is the north node of Neptune, and then she will come forward on the shadow path. So she is being reborn. True value is being re-understood. And for you, true value is in your house of values. Here, the square with Uranus and Jupiter to Venus. Uranus, perfect square with the new moon in Leo. So the Promethean fire, you know, this hanged man energy you got is telling me that there is a new understanding of your value and how you can put that in this world, even though the world seems like it might be falling apart. That's part of the process of the world card, the apocalypse. You know, it's always, every day is an apocalypse. We're always dying and being reborn. You know, so they say Aries, you know, it starts and it ends quick, but you can start and end quick many times. You know, And life is about dynamics, not about statics. So what we're coming to realize in Aries here with this new moon is your authentic self-expression is highly valuable for this world. Your power is very valuable for not only yourself, your ancestors, but for this world, for others. And carrying that fire and handing it to other people by extension of you standing in your own power is very powerful. So we've got Juno here in the 5th house, in Leo as well. This is the alchemical wedding. It could be with another, or it could be with yourself. We meet ourselves in the world and in the people we come into contact with. And that's how we cultivate. So you've got Neptune here in this quincunx with the, actually it's a Yod with the South Node and Black Moon Lilith. Now Black Moon Lilith is being burnt up. It's in a new phase conjunction with this new moon. So the repression of the anima is being brought to light, and that's awareness. That I feel is that emotional awareness that we have repressed within ourselves. A lot of times our emotions, they come through us in the quickest, most direct route, which is, for me personally, it's anger. And I see that in the world as well. Generally, it's anger. So carrying the fire without burning the self and burning the world down around us, it's about coming to realization of our own repression. The world is always going to give us the repression needed to feel what it is that we're trying to cultivate within ourselves. It's when we quit repressing ourselves and we come to see that the power of those repressed bits of ourselves, those held expressions that we didn't feel had a place in this world or within our own awareness, when we can bring that to the light of the day, then we find true balance, true power within ourselves. And that's the gift here of Ceres. So with Venus, no, not Venus, but with Neptune in that Yod, you are starting to see how you have repressed yourself in relation with others and how your shadow has repressed others in relation to yourself and how that has fed dynamics that no longer serve you. And as you step into the authenticity of yourself, other people feel that, and then they begin to stand in their authenticity. They either fall away or they stand up in a new way. So you are doing relationships in a new way. You're doing yourself in a new way. And you're healing yourself in the process, and by divine right, the entire collective. You are the one holding the wound here, the chiron, the wound of the self, the wounded mind. And that's healing the entire collective. The cardinal energies is the impulse which gets the gears going. It's the spark. So Saturn here in your 12th house. Saturn loves to be in the 12th. Mars loves to be in the 6th. Saturn's very powerful in the 12th. The disillusionment of what had been, the spirit of the belief that we held for ourselves, for this world, for others, is being refined through releasing and standing in the authenticity of who we feel we are meant to be. Now Pluto in the 10th here at the end, tail end of Capricorn, and trining. It's going to be a grand Earth trine here. There's a perfect trine between Mars and Uranus, but there's a grand Earth trine essentially. The value you put to work for yourself propels you into a new direction in this world. The world may be looking closed down. There may not be a lot of good things to celebrate in this world as it starts to claw and try and hold on to the power that it once held, and I mean societally. But in that process, people standing in their own values and bringing that forward is how we actually bring Uranus to life here, because Uranus is the father of Saturn. Saturn strengthens, kills Uranus, brings form to reality, societies form. So societies start to crumble and the Tower of Babel falls. Uranus is called, which is change, rebellion. So it's the authenticity of the self. And Aquarius breathes into the fire of Aries. So you're in a powerful position. You got a good reading here and you got good energies. If you're not happening for the world, happen for yourself, and that's happening for the world. Alright, so thanks for watching, and if you want personal reading from me, go to my website. I do astrological analysis. I may pull cards if I'm called, but I generally just look at the charts, get a feel for you. I'm a highly empathic person. So thanks for watching.